Welcome to the podcast, and this one with a brilliant young talent. Her name is Hargun Kaur. She's been smashing it in India on reality shows, and this is someone who's been singing since like day one. You know, this is clearly someone who had singing in their blood from the minute they were born, for many reasons that you're going to hear in a little while. It's almost like fate and the universe and the energies were all conspiring to say, you are going to be a singer one day, young lady. But I just love her sparkle. I think she's got a real star quality. And if you are listening to this podcast, that's great. If you watch it, you'll see what I mean. Some people have that little energy and aura about them. And it's just a lovely nature. She's super talented. And we have a great chat about making it in the business, working with your mum and dad, having mum and dad's support, what that really means. And also overcoming obstacles and hard times when you are trying to make it in any kind of field. And I think we can all take a little bit of Hargun Kaur inspiration away with us. So enjoy this chat. It's the Tommy Sandhu podcast with the brilliant, super talented, and remember where you heard her first, if this is the first time you're hearing her, it's Hargun Kaur. Hargun Kaur, welcome to the podcast. How are you? You all right?
I'm very well. How are you? Thank you for having me.
No, you know what? Some people immediately you can just tell. First, there's a few things that I'm gonna point out for all the people that might not be watching. Some people will be watching this on YouTube. Some people will be listening to it. So if you're listening to it, then you need to flick over to YouTube as well and watch it, because Hargun is sat there in a massive coat. Because you're obviously one of those people that's always cold. Are you one of those people like, "Hi, thandi lag rahi hai, thandi lag rahi hai." Are you one of those people all the time?
I am.
You can tell. You can tell. Are you a Kumbal on kind of person? Sit there, watch the TV.
Yes, all the time, all the damn time.
Have you always got cold feet? Are you one of the people that like?
How do you know this?
Because I can tell. You're from Amritsar. You're Amritsariya. I can feel the connections in the blood. So that's what you must be. But the fact that you're sat there in a coat now, right, and not just like like a coat with a big woolly hat kind of thing going on. You know, you get two kinds of people. You get people that are always hot, and you get people that are always cold. So I'm always cold. So I'm sat in a t-shirt because I've got the heating cranked up in my house. So it has to be warm. I'm in London. This is, we're used to the cold. But my wife is one of the people that's always hot. So she's like, "Oh, turn the heating down. Turn the heating down. I can't." Yeah, and one of my sons is like that as well. Whereas the other son's a Kumbal son. So you realize this.
Son. Wow.
Like people are getting all confused in the world about genders, how to define people, what do they fall under. I'm like, no. There's two kinds of people: hot people and cold people. Bas. Don't worry about nothing else. Don't worry about nothing else. So where in the world are you right now?
I'm in Amritsar. I'm in my hometown right now.
Oh man, and what, I'm not just gonna say my dad is from there, so obviously pre-partition he was Lahore, and then obviously he came to this side, and he's in Amritsar. My mum's from Bhatinda. We call it bartender because there's drinks. I don't know. We think it's funny, so it's bartender and Amritsar. But Amritsar, for anybody who doesn't know, it's a special place. Can we just start about, tell me about your love for your hometown. What's it like? What's it been like growing up there? Because obviously it's the home of the Golden Temple. It's a very spiritual place for all Sikhs all around the world. And it's like, you live in the holy city. You live in the holy town in the holy city.
Absolutely. Growing up here was fun, and Golden Temple is one of the, it's one of the best places I've ever been to in life. And besides Golden Temple, Amritsar, I love Amritsar for food all the time, and I'm a big foodie. So no matter where am I traveling around the world, but food and Amritsar, that connection, I just can't. I studied in Bombay for 4 to 5 years, pre-pandemic. So I always, every day, every moment, I missed food. And since now I'm back, I'm eating all the time. I stress eat, I leisure eat, I eat all the time.
Like for every emotion. Hey, we had a good day today. Let's eat. Oh, I had a bad day today. Let's eat. Is it the way it's said is different, but the end product is the same.
Let's eat.
What is it that you love about Amritsar food? Because I know the things that I've had when I've been there, and I haven't been there many times, a handful of times, say 7-8 times in my life. But there's certain things that I love about it. What do you love about it as a local about the food?
I just love everything. There's nothing I eat from rajma chawal, sambar chawal to street food, chaat and golgappe and kulcha and champ and you name it. So basically,
Are you
I
are
can
you
go
vegetarian?
on.
Are you vegetarian?
I'm a
Do you do
vegetarian.
okay? So not even fish as well. You wouldn't do any
No,
fish
no.
because okay. I'm just going to say it then because okay, I'm a meat eater, right? And I don't want you to judge me on that. But what I'm saying,
Yes,
but the fish is phenomenal. You know that they make on the street there. The Amritsari fish, and I remember watching the guy do all the masala right there in front of me, and he was talking me through it as well. He was saying, look, this is how I do it, and I put this masala like this. So he's very open about it, and there's something about that taza made food from the side of the street in Amritsar. It's
I
beautiful.
know.
And on that note, what I will say, the tikkiya, just
Oh, ho,
a
ho,
nice
ho.
spicy aloo tikki. I mean, it's aloo. It's not even no gourmet stuff, like it's aloo. But what is it? Where does the magic come from then, Hargun?
I just I know.
There's definitely something magical, I think, about Amritsar. There's definitely something magical about the Punjab and Punjabi people. I think everywhere you go around the world, people know of Punjabi people and Punjabi culture. And even when they talk about, you got to know from my side, being born and raised in London, England, when people talk about Indian weddings, they want to go to a Punjabi wedding.
Correct.
When they talk about,
Correct.
when they talk about Indian music, they're talking about Punjabi
Punjabi
tours and tumbis and all that.
music.
How much do you feel? Because obviously here you are now, you're smashing it on the singing. Things are going so well. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But how much do you feel like a Punjabi artist, or do you feel like an Indian artist, or are you just Hargun Kaur eating her aloo tikkis, doing her thing?
I am, yeah, basically, primarily, I sing, besides Punjabi, I sing Marathi and Gujarati and other languages as well. Because I stayed in Bombay, I learned Marathi and Gujarati both because my friends and the place where I stayed had a Guju community and a Marathi community. So I had to learn because at one point in time, I was not sure if they were just praising me or abusing. So I had to learn
Right.
and
So hold a minute. You only learn the language because you don't trust them. That's because you're so
exactly,
untrustworthy.
I couldn't trust them. So
Right.
because they said everything with a very straight face and you could not just make out. So I thought it's a yeah. I the first day I remember I went to my college and I just wanted to, probably learn something about the culture and learn something about the language. So I asked one of my friends, "Ki, how do you greet? How do you greet when in Marathi? How do you talk?" So she said, the HOD was coming, and she told me to go to him and say, "Kana khali vazvuka." So I just learned it as it is, "Kana khali vazvuka," and I went to him and I said, "Sir, kana khali vazvuka," and it means "Kan ke niche do kya?" Should I hit you on the and
But you said it all nicely, sir.
yes, I
Would
said,
it be
"Sir,
okay?
Kan."
Would it be okay if I hit you behind the ear?
And he was baffled. He was like, "Oh, okay." And for a minute, and then he realized that, I was not from here and all of
You've been
that.
set up.
Yes. And then he said, "What? Kai?" He said that they have that tone. They can't say Kai. They say Kai. And
Yeah, right.
I knew that something was not right, and I stared at her, and she's like, and
So that's
that's
it. So
where I
that's when they started to learn it. Now we've spoken to other artists actually. Janita Gandhi comes to mind, who sings in many different languages.
correct.
Now I feel like I can say, I don't know why I feel probably like I can say this to you more so because of the Punjabi connection, but Punjabi's got such a flavor to it, and I know it from speaking it. When I switch from English to my Punjabi, when I'm sat with uncles or in-laws or
Right.
whatever, and it's a different person I become, right?
I
Because
know.
because I don't just believe in Hanji mein roti khani si aur you don't do that. You go, oh, roti khani hai. You kind of change with your flavor and the person that you are. And
Correct.
I probably put a bit of Punjabi into my English as well, which is why we talk in the high energy way that we do and all that.
Absolutely.
But is it, how hard is it to switch character between Punjabi, Gujarati, Marathi, and anything else, Hindi? Because they all require, they're not only a vocal ability and your ability to sing in a certain style, but also a whole different mindset, a different sort of soul and spiritual sort of side.
Right. It is. There's this change, though. I try to be myself in all these languages or genres. Not just languages, but different genres of music. I just try being what I am, and without putting any masks, because I can't. I mean, I can pretend for a while, but I can't do it all the time. So that's how I try to, obviously I learn the intricacies and for languages, or probably the diction and nuances, whatever. But
Mm.
then to add your flavor is where they realize that, you know um, your individuality, it matters a lot. So I try doing that as much as I can.
Yeah. No, I like that. And actually, I'm going to touch you just because you touched on something there. And I don't know how this works really. Being a Punjabi, okay, we wear our heart on our sleeves, right? You like you just said, you can't really hide it. You're not one for masks, and that's very. I think that's a very Punjabi way to be. It's also, there's other cultures and characters around the world that are similar. That, what you see is what you get. I'm not going to play no games with you. But here
Correct.
you are. You're in a business where you got to put on a
Absolutely.
face. You have to. It's showtime. It's Hargun. Come on, go out there. So, but I think if a Punjabi is Dukhi, she or he is going to let everybody know about it as well, because we can't help but, yeah. But also, if we're feeling up and we want to take the whole vibe up, we can take the whole room, thousands, millions of people with us as well.
Correct.
There's a spirit, there's an energy, and that maybe goes for a lot of performers as well. So how are you finding now the fame and the navigating your way to kind of button it when you have to button it? Don't say anything, Hargun. Don't react there. Keep smiling there. Like you're playing a game now. This whole business is a bit of a game. How are
It
you
is.
finding
It
that?
is. Um, I'm very talkative, so that becomes such a problem sometimes. And then I just have to tell myself to shut up all the time. And but I'm learning. All I've been singing since I was 3, so it's been quite a journey. And all this while, I have my parents to basically sometimes shut me up and take, ask me to, either buck up or shut up. So I have that. I have that signal coming from my mom or my dad. I look at them and let them, you need to.
Are they quite involved then? Are they quite involved in your career on a daily
Absolutely.
basis?
They are.
In
They
what in
are.
what role? Like how does that work practically?
So my mom has been traveling ever since I started performing and participating in competitions or reality shows or whatever. So she has been traveling ever since. My dad, I'm sorry, I've
Oh wow, that's all right.
been
You,
recovering from this COVID. So
have you,
yeah,
did you get it? Oh, you got it.
I got it. I'm active now, but all this cough and cold, and it's
Yeah,
just not
it can linger for a
leaving
bit.
me.
It can,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, well, sorry. And just on that note, how badly did it hit you? Were you okay, or did you get wiped out big
Yeah,
time?
I'm okay. I had fever and some mild symptoms for 3 days,
Yeah.
and now I'm fine. Um,
Yeah, see,
just
everybody's been hit different. But see, you're young and Javan, and you see, and all that haldi in your diet. You got haldi in your diet, right? Fighting all that ghee, all that wonderful Amritsar food. Exactly. COVID came along. COVID tried to get, and you went, hi, look, this is all filled with pakore and samosa and all these lovely. Like, forget it. I'll
correct.
go elsewhere. I'll go. Okay, sorry, you were saying. So I'm glad to know you're better anyway. But your mum's been traveling with you the whole time.
Yeah, she has been traveling, and dad is also, back in support. He's always there and helping me to navigate between so many things that are happening. I was studying until like COVID set in, so studies and research and shows and recordings and everything, so they are very very actively into, and I'm the only child, so I'm the king.
Ah, there you go. But I think so that's what. Hey, how lucky are you in that respect to have the support of parents, to have the kind of the setup where your mum can take the time and go with you to those competitions.
Absolutely.
That's, you think about what it takes to make it, and everyone we hear from every level, they need the support of their parents, mums, dads, families. It's so key, particularly to Indian artists. Even I remember I was talking to Divine, right? Completely different story to you, the rapper, and his mum bought him the microphone and bought him the computer to start doing his editing on. So, and she was like, working mum, working class mum, nothing special, no wowie, not like, oh yeah, for my beta, go get him this computer, whatever. It was hard. It was hard. So, if it wasn't for them and their support, do you think this you'd be on this path anyway?
Not at all. It's impossible. My mom, she gave up her career when I was born, just to look after me, and I personally don't have that courage to. I mean, everyone works their ass off all your life to achieve a point, and then one day you just take this bold decision to say that, okay, I'll take care of you, and I won't do this anymore. So I don't personally have that courage to do it for anyone. So she's been along all this while. Papa's been along all this while. I don't think I could have dreamt of doing any of this, because when I was 5, I was asked, "What do you want to become?" So I had to draw it in an activity in school, and I'm really bad at drawing, by the way, but I just made a lady and I wrote Lata Mangeshkar down there.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I, even before I realized that I wanted to do music, my parents told me that, yeah, I think you can do it. And my nickname is Ghazal. So the day I was born, my mom named me Ghazal. So there is this surreal connection I
Ghazal,
feel. Ghazal.
ghazal. Yeah,
Yes.
singing. Yeah, like singing. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
So Hargun is like my official name. My granddad named me Hargun after like the ceremony and everything. But the day I was born, my mom named me Ghazal out of the blue, and that connection continues till date, and the support continues till date. I couldn't have done even 1%, because I think it's not my effort; it's a group effort. It's the three of us. So yes.
Yeah, no, it's so nice. Ain't that mad then? So it just makes me think, when you hear about stories of any kind of greatness, whether it be sports stars, musicians, actors, there's just something layered within them, within the family, with the story that leads up to it. Why did your mum name you Guzzle? What made her think of that at that time? Why would she go down a musical route? Like there's that's an energy thing. Do you believe that things are meant to be, or do you think that because you've worked hard at it, you've worked hard, like you say, from 3-4 years old. Okay, yeah, you had a passion for it, but you've been developing all that time. But I don't know how much of this is Rabane Likiaya, and how much of it is no, I've worked my butt off for it.
No, I think it's destiny plus the hard work, so it goes hand in hand for me. I think that energies exist and they make things happen. And then obviously there's talent and hard work and all of that to it. It's just not destiny. I can't just be sitting like this and my name is Ghazalo, I'll be the next sensation. It can't be that way. But um, yes, it's both the things. I believe that it's those energies, those vibes, and the divine and the hard work that goes
I love
into
I,
it.
I, lo- I love that, and I love the fact that you've had that focus from a young age. I'm asking this question not to put you off, but more so for anybody out there who might be doubting themselves. Were there times where you thought, you know what? Okay, it's fun. It's fun being a singer, but this is not going to go any further. and bus. Ho gaya kam. Like, okay, no more competitions. Let me just go get that job in IT, in architecture, in graphic, or whatever it is, the other thing that you might be interested in, or and did that ever happen, or is it like, no, I knew it was one way and no way?
Everyone has dull days. Everyone has dark times, and I have had my share too. Because sometimes you feel that it's a very this career is very unstable. It's very volatile, and you can't just trust things. You have to go with the flow, keep that patience. And as a person, I'm not very patient, so it really sometimes hits me hard. And when I was doing my 12th grade, um, high school, so I was doing it in commerce, and I completed it. I got a seat in SRCC, which happens to be Asia's best commerce college. And then I dropped the seat. I said I wanted to do music.
Yeah,
And um, my parents, everyone came to my parents and said, Pagalo,
yeah,
because SRCC is a big thing. You will be in the best of the companies around the globe, and you can have handsome packages and a stable life more than
yeah,
anything else. So it was a mutual decision. Like, it was just not my decision, but all three of us pondered over, and we thought that, if you they more than me, my parents were like, if you really want to do music, you should not be double minded. So I left it, and I went to an arts college in Amritsar. And life was not as glamorous as SRCC could have been.
yeah,
And I cried like 6 months. I used to cry every day. Every day I was crying. I was very sad and depressed. Kahan bhej diya and all of that. So
yeah.
and then came a time where opportunities started coming in, and I started performing, and things became really, really, um, if not great, better than they were before. And recently, last year was very devastating. Like, last year was very hard on all of us. The second wave hit India, and we lost a lot of people. Opportunities wise, there were very less things happening. It was very, very boring, and I really did not know where to go. So I know, but now I don't say that I have a very thick skin and I don't crib anymore and all of that. I do every day. Not every day, but yeah, I crib, or I sulk, or I cry. That's human, and I'm fine with it. But
Uh,
I know that these are phases; they will come and go. So I've made peace with that thought, and it has just the last year especially has made me very, very grateful for the most things that I thought were insignificant.
mm,
uh, it has made me grateful for food in my plate, and I was never that sort of a person. So it has really changed me in a way. I might be crying or sulking on a certain day, but deep down I know. And I sometimes I do this thing. I count my blessings. I not just as a phrase, but I do it as an exercise. One, two,
right.
three, five. Um, when I'm
Like
lying
things that
down,
things that you're grateful for, like things that you feel
yes,
grateful for. Okay.
it's very healing. It's very therapeutic, I believe. And when I lie down, if I have had a very bad day, I I still know that it it could have been worse. So
Yeah.
that makes me feel better, actually. And that's what it is about. But yes, there are happy days as well, and
Yeah.
today is one such.
Good stuff. Who taught you to do that? Who taught you those little methods, or is that things that you've just developed yourself? I mean, because those are key techniques that the whole world is sort of starting to practice, and being grateful and taking time out and being mindful. Where does Hargun get that from? Is that mum dad thing?
I Yes, my obviously my mom, dad, and I introspect a lot. I talk to myself a lot when I'm alone. I'll be constantly thinking. I overthink sometimes, and that's that's a problem
Not,
though.
that's
But
not good. Yeah.
um,
Diljit, I want to quickly just quote this because I'm not never going to get to throw this quote in. Diljit Dosanjh once said to me, because I said to him, I said, "Don't you ever think about how famous you are, how big you are as a star? Do you ever think that?" And he went, "Banda soch ke pagal ho jata hai." So don't do it. So it's the same thing, you know. Thing. So the overthinking thing, I don't know whether that's again. I'm going to just say I don't think it's a Punjabi thing. I think a lot of Punjabi people do that. It's probably why there's a lot of alcoholism and drugs and things like that because you're trying to stop the noise of all the bloody voices in the head. But that's a wonderful thing, the overthinking, because it shows an active mind and you know you're reading into things and it's intelligence. But you got to keep that crazy little bundle in your head under check.
I know. Sometimes I can't do it myself. Then again, my parents come to my rescue and they'll be like, "You need to be sane," and that's what helps me. And people around me, my friends, I'm really surrounded by really nice people, and I think that's one of the blessings that I count when I count. So
Yeah, good on you. Good on you for taking that time out as well. So much of this industry is dependent on other people. You know, you rely on the label person, the film person who might put you in a song. Come and meet her, come and sing for this. We might like you, we might not. So much of it, like I said, we're waiting for others to tell us, Hargun, you're amazing. You've got it. Come sing on this, come sing on that. But amongst all of that, you've got to still have self-belief. So how hard is that and how does that work? Because like you said, you're waiting like, hey, come on, you know, you're waiting on other people, you're getting impatient. We know that now. But yet you're waiting on others to confirm to you that you are worthy. How does that feel?
um, I'm sorry.
No, don't worry.
Basically, I think that now it's more of a number game. More than anything else, it's your um, talking about our industry in particular. It's your followers, your subscribers, your likes and your comments and your external validations all the time. Like it's just not from the labels or the probably the music producers or people involved in the game. It's uh, some external validation happening all the time. So it really affects. I don't say that it does not, but I really believe that it has been a journey. And you know, there might be someone who's just witnessed that one piece of work and is, you know, telling me something about it. It could be a
Yeah.
positive or a negative feedback, anything, but they haven't witnessed the journey. But I have been with myself for all this while, and I've been through everything, and I know that, you know, even if I could not nail it that day, or even if I don't have, you know, 10 million followers on Instagram, I know I've had that journey, and that's sufficient enough to, you know, again, keep me sane and keep me there. And I don't lose hope that way. Also, if it's a it's a feedback where I can learn from, I would definitely take it in my stride and not be like, be sad about it. I know it's for my betterment, so I take it that way.
Yeah. You got a wise head. You got a wise head on young shoulders, you know.
I
And
don't look like,
yeah,
but
it's all in the hoodie. It's all in the hoodie. That's what it is. But you know, you've had to grow up fast then, right? Do you feel and again, I know other people who have been grafting away from young ages say the same thing. Like, yeah, our childhood was different. Arman Malik. Look at me, I'm quoting all the famous people I've met, and I'll be talking about. And Hargun Kaur once said to me, you know, and I'll be quoting you in other interviews as well. But
uh,
Arman Malik said the same, that when his dad came to him and Amal and at 10 years old and said, kind of, it's on you now, you know, we're broke, we got no money, you know, it's time to grow up, it's time to start singing, it's time to start performing. And so they've always had their heads screwed on, but their childhood was taken away to some extent. right? So
Yes.
here you are, you've been in competitions and you've been singing since you were 3 years old. They called you Guzzle from day one. It could have been worse. They could have called you Builder or something like that. They could have called you Chaiwala, and then that would have been your life. I don't know, right? Or something, right? And then they were like that.
I'll
She
give
makes
them
the
this
best thing. Yeah, yeah,
um, suggestion,
yeah,
chai wala
yeah.
seems nice.
Yeah, Laddu. If they called you Laddu, then oh my word, imagine the size of you now. You'd be like 10 times the size. But to what extent do you feel like, yeah, you know what? I haven't had the same kind of upbringing because you've had this eye on this career the whole time.
I don't think that I was in a prison or doing all of that. I'm a very indoor person myself. So if you put me in a room and lock me, there should be a Wi-Fi bot.
And
And if even if you lock me for 30 days or even more, will, I will be the same, and I won't freak out. Like, I want to go out, and I don't do all of that. I
mm,
don't know. It has been the way I've grown up, and um, maybe, but I have never felt that I've missed out on something. I always had friends and I've played along, and I've not been that Barbie Cinderella child, but I was that Hot Wheels child, and I had all these moments as well. Generally we talk about the music and the heavy intense stuff though, but
yeah,
yes, I've had my share of all these chilled out moments, and I don't have any regrets.
good. No, good. And let's make sure be acting. Just because something I'm picking up on now. You've got so many nakre. I don't know if you know this,
Do you
but your
think?
eyes are going. The hands, by the way, your hands should have their own career because all throughout the interview, they're doing their own
Shrifan.
thing and they're using their symbolism. I'll tell you, maybe you were a Kathak dancer or something like that. All the kind of whatever, all those kind of clapping stuff. Or but you've got a theatrical, physical side to you that's kind of quite expressive and performery and handy and all that. Do you think about acting or the dancing or that part of the performance at all?
I'm not very good at dancing. I tried my hands on it when I was in a show where uh, Salim Suleiman were there, Ravina Tandon ji was there, and I was probably what 12 at that time, and I was a brown fat kid, and I just went there with you see that. um I could only sing, so it was a singing and a dancing reality show called Chak De Bache, and um they said that you are a cute kid, probably you can dance and all of that. And I went there, but I did not know how to shake a leg. I learned with I was really bad at it, and I was pathetic rather. When I see those videos today, I'm so ashamed. All these people, they taught us to dance. I was not, I mean, very good at it, but I slowly I picked up. Acting, yes, I will definitely like to try because I am a born nautanki.
Yeah.
I do it all the time, and I like doing comic stuff more. I haven't although tried all of that, but I do that on Instagram and TikTok and stuff. I like it.
That's good. You can see
People
it.
are
You can see it.
sometimes, you should sing, ye sab band karo, gao. And you should
Yeah.
not be doing all of that. It doesn't
What's all
suit
this?
your face.
Yeah. What's all this bakwas? Come on, stick to what you know. Stick to the singing. You're like, no, but I want to perform. I got all these kind of actions. No, I think you really should. I can see it in you, and I think some people just have a natural performer ability. And has nobody approached you yet? No one's got talking to Hargun Kaur about there's a new Punjabi film or any kind of film that you want to be a part of.
Not yet, but you can tell people that I can.
I will. I'll put the word out. Hello. She's definitely dramatic. I'll give you that. Listen, Hargun, it's been so lovely talking to you. Thank you. And I know you're not well and you've had a little cough and all that stuff. So you get back to resting up and taking care of yourself and getting yourself back to good health. And when's the next show? When are you next out on the road then? When do you next kind of hit a stage? Is that happening anytime soon?
Yes, we are in February, so yes, there are 2, 3 gigs lined up, and um, in Udaipur, Delhi, and elsewhere. So my mom knows everything else.
Yeah, let her deal with that. Leave that schedule to mum. But so I'm saying, so you've got a few days to get better, properly,
Yeah.
shake off the cough, and so it's wonderful. Well, look, take it easy. Thank you so much. I think you're amazing. I think you're a little pataka, and I love it. And so just keep doing what you do. I know you've already the whole of India is recognizing your talents. It's nice for us to share some pride in your journey as well. So well done. And keep working
Thank
hard,
you.
and I think the best is probably still yet to come. So this is going
It
to be
is.
exciting to follow your career. Thank you so much, Hargun. Thank you.
Thank you.
I heard, genuinely, this is just as a fact, I heard that if you hit subscribe to this podcast now, if you have subscribed on Apple or on Spotify or on JioSaavn or wherever you are listening right now, if you are subscribing and getting that on a regular, which means you get the little notification when the new episode comes out, fact, this is a fact. Don't tell no one else's. If you hit subscribe, you can eat as many jalebis as you want and you will never put on weight. I know. I don't understand the logic. It makes no sense to me. I mean, how's a podcast relate to the DNA way in which your body breaks down jalebi sugar stuff running through your cell? I don't understand. But what I do know, it's a little cheat to life. So if you like jalebis, then you should hit subscribe to this podcast. Oh, and follow us on social media too. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Follow us, eat jalebis, be happy.